T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What do you got to eat? Here, guys. Ooh. What's this say? I don't know. What's that say? I know, but I'm not gonna tell. I think it says it's good.
Conjecture Hoops contains all the presumptions, assumptions, and off-the-wall postulations a growing kid needs. Conjecture Hoops, a big bowl of bullshit. Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.
Please welcome Max Headshrew, Dell, Aria Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
What's up, everybody?
We did it.
We did it. Oh, there's one more person, though.
Aria should be on his way, yeah.
One more person should be arriving any second now. Oh, wait, I think here he comes.
Welcome, Nicolas Cage. Well, understatement's the watchword tonight.
Oh, hang on a second. My mic, darn it.
So,
Yeah, third time on the show.
what do you
The
call
only way to make an entrance.
what do you call that kind of psychological pathology? Like, what's it called when you're just too much of a badass and have too much confidence and charisma and are
Being a demigod?
like, what's that, Nick?
Being a demigod?
I'm pretty sure Nick Cage is a demigod. When we decided to do this trilogy of Keanu Reeves movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, and Nick Cage movies, I definitely thought that Keanu Reeves and Arnold Schwarzenegger were both more interesting and more fun. No.
Oh, really?
They're
No,
not.
no way. Cage is the man.
Cage wins.
Weird, man.
Cage wins, you might say, the cage match.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Wait, did I miss the Arnold episode?
Huh?
Did I miss the Arnold episode?
Yeah, you missed the Arnie episode,
while
bro.
you were raising your kids or whatever.
Yeah, when you're off being a dad, you missed the Arnie episode, bro.
I didn't know there was an Arnold episode.
What is best in life?
To watch Nick Cage movies.
Wonder about the plot. Notice the unique aspects and creative innovations.
You don't worry about the plot in any Nick Cage film.
So I like Nicolas Cage, yeah. Like, I mean, you can. I think maybe then in comparison to the other two, you could probably say that Arnie and Reeves they only work in certain parts because they've got somewhat wooden acting styles. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Whereas I think that Nicolas Cage, I know he's like larger than life, but I think he's got way more of a range and than the others when it comes to acting. I think he's way more fearless as well. I think he deliberately goes for roles that can potentially make him look daft. I think he's pretty fearless when it comes to that. Like, some of the stuff that he's done is pretty incredible. I'm sure we'll see it later on with some of the clips that we've got.
Mate, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said fearless. Like I
Yeah.
saw an interview with him. I obviously couldn't clip every bit of every interview of everything because there's way too much Cage content. But I saw an interview where he says basically, people think I'm not in on the joke. They think they're laughing at me, and that's fine because I made the joke. So, and that's a like it seemed on the superficially, it just seems like, oh right, he's over the top and people think that's funny, but there's actually something really profound about that way of looking at it, because it's like he's willing to take on the role of a fool and actually let people think that they're laughing at him and that he's not in on it. He's willing to make that sacrifice for the sake of the joke itself. So he sees it as something.
He's making it for us, really.
Bigger than himself. Exactly. It's a self-sacrifice of the self for the good of the worshipers. He's Jesus, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
See, that's another part. I'd love to see Nick Cage play Jesus. He's currently in the role of Dracula, right?
Who has played Jesus in movies? I know that whatever kid they contracted that got hit by lightning for the Passion, he's not an A-list actor. But wasn't there some movie with like Willem Dafoe as Jesus or something? Ewan McGregor as Jesus?
Yeah, he plays Jesus.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the fan film that the footage they used for the Obi-Wan like fake trailers that came out before the Obi-Wan was a thing. Those were clips from a paper that Ewan McGregor, where he plays Jesus wandering in the desert.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a really good film. It's a really good film. Yeah,
I thought
Ewan
he played.
McGregor comes out as Jesus, I'm converting to Christianity.
I thought he played one of the last surviving Jedi on a planet, watching over the son of his best friend.
That's Jesus.
Oh right.
Yeah. Obi-Wan Jacoby.
So he didn't actually ascend into heaven. He just stuck around Tatooine for like 2,000 years.
Anywhere Ewan McGregor is heaven. Obviously.
Well, that makes sense, but I'd have to check with my priest. No, fucking Nicolas Cage is the man, dude. Like,
Keanu Reeves played Jesus. He's also got the.
Who else has played Jesus?
Keanu Reeves. To be fair, the only one out of the three that we've done that I don't see as being Jesus is Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
that would be a really cool movie, though. Schwarzenegger as Jesus.
You're not crucifying him, though, are you?
I came not to bring peace, but the sword. No, you do crucify him. You just make it like a really long action. Takes a really long time to crucify him, and he kills a lot of Roman legionaries.
Arnie actually does in at the End of Days film. They do crucify him, and he gets crucified in Conan the Barbarian as well.
He is.
Yeah. Forgive them; they know not what they do.
They know what they do.
Accent isn't as good as I think it is. It's gonna be, and then it sounds dumb.
So, do we have a singular or multitude of favorite Nicolas Cage films, or anything that you would recommend to each other or the audience?
I have a feeling.
60 seconds.
I have a feeling everybody's favorite movies are going to be completely different.
So do I.
Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah. See, I haven't even watched that one. It's too many.
It's so good. Yeah, I like it.
I really appreciate, Del, how you sent me your favorite clips from the movie too, so we could have them on the show. That was a good idea.
You were sending so much content. You guys were like, when I finally found out what I wanted to put, you guys like, I got too much, and I was like, all right, never mind.
Well,
so Nicolas Cage, like, it seems like he's been in like a million films in the last sort of 5 years, and it's because he went into like serious debt, so he had to pretty much honor as many contracts offered his way. This is true, and he's recently got out of the debt, right? Now that's something I think initially perhaps he thought was a bad thing, right? And I think a lot of actors in Hollywood might think that killed their career. I think in his case, it's actually giving him a resurgence because he got to play in all these sort of lower budget art house roles. And sort of considering the amount that he did, if sort of 1 in 5 was pretty good, he ended up being in some pretty fucking awesome films in the last sort of 5 years.
Five Nights at Freddy's is fucking tight.
Oh, is that, what's that called? The Five Nights at Freddy's one?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's I can't remember, but
Willy's Wonderland.
Some shit like that.
So
but,
does that mean that like every A-list Hollywood star like could be fucking acting in 5 movies a year if they wanted to?
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you consider the amount that Nicolas Cage is in, which is a fucking lot of movies. I'll look it up in a minute and find out exactly how many he's been in. But he says he turns down stuff all the time, like all the time. And when he does appear in movies, like he's shooting like 3 or 4 at the same time. So he'll shoot over on his jet, do 3 weeks, and then piss off before the production ends. You know.
So wouldn't there be like prestige of being like having appeared in the most movies ever, or the longest period of time ever? And wouldn't somebody wouldn't somebody want to have that record?
Where would that record be given?
Let's find out.
Right here on Saturday morning cartoons, baby.
Many movies.
We have the free time. We will do the math.
We have the technology.
So Nicolas Cage has been in at least 120 movies.
That's so many fucking movies.
That's a lot of fucking movies, dude.
That is a lot of movies.
Would there be an Oracle of Cage?
120 divided by 5. Each of us should have watched 24 movies this week. Did I do that right?
Yeah.
I did, right? No, it would be more than 25. No, it would be 24 movies.
Yo,
go ahead, Del.
Yeah, I just recently saw an interview with Nicolas Cage where he was talking about like I think it was like he goes in the undercover in the internet, and it was pretty cool because it goes back to what you were saying about how self-aware he is about like the joke thing, and it's like he doesn't have social media or any of that stuff, but he's aware of like his subreddit, he's aware of the memes. Like it's pretty cool that he's like aware of like where he's at and how he I guess like the material and how his audience and fans perceive him without being in the internet, if that makes any sense. So he's not like making a fool of himself in the internet. He's just doing all the jokes that you're talking about that he's making are like just genuinely him. And he's not influenced by like I've seen like some of my favorite actors like Matthew McConaughey, they hop on Instagram and then they turn weird. Like, bro, this isn't you, and then they have this like weird different persona, and then they have to back out of it to get back to themselves.
Bro, Matt,
it's a generational thing, and I think Nick does. It seems to do the right thing by just resisting the urge to go on there and try and get down with the kids. And I've seen some interviews with him where they've sort of said, "Look, do you know what? Do you know of this phenomena of people putting your face on everything, or there's this thing called caging where people print out pictures of his face and they put, and they ask him about that, and his answer is just like, well, you know, what the fuck can I do about it? Nothing. So just embrace it. He doesn't,
which is the right answer, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Because
he totally like is appreciative that people are giving him the time of the day to do that to him.
That's like, a good point about Matthew McConaughey too, right? Because like he's such a good actor that he seems really intelligent until you see him speak without a fucking script, and you realize that he isn't. Like, no, I'm serious about Matthew McConaughey. Like in that movie Interstellar, he says he has this scene where he says that he's trying to figure out the why of things, and he says it just like that, and then you see him in real life interviewing somebody about like why black people are better than white people just inherently, and he says, I'm trying to figure out the why of things, and he says it exactly the same way and even does the same hand gestures, and you're like, oh, you're not a human being, you're an android. It's not been programmed today, you know.
So what we got then apart from Gone in 60 Seconds?
Let everyone say their favorite movie. You can only say one. If you say 2, I will remove you from the stream and you will never be allowed back.
Hang on, let me think about it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You can't pick one. You can't pick one.
I can pick one, but there are
gun to your head. Gun to your head. Pick one.
Mandy.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Del, are you doing Gone in 60
I have
seconds?
a feeling, Nick.
Yeah, Gone in 60 seconds.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Might fall in love with Mandy.
I'm gonna go over here so I can shoot Aria. Aria,
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Because you're a superhero guy. Yeah.
It's also because I can't remember a lot of Nick Cage films right now.
Nick's like, I'll fucking die. I'm not. I
Don't
can't
threaten
choose.
me with a good time, baby.
Nick's like, I've been thinking about shooting myself. You just save me trouble.
Con Air.
Con
Con
Air.
Air.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
that
there
movie
you go.
rocks.
I love
That
Con
movie
Air, dude.
rocks.
It's so good.
My favorite's Raising Arizona.
Also great.
Wow,
film.
yeah.
All very different movies as well.
Yeah,
That's
of
pretty
course.
cool. Hey, to Arya, the Ghost Rider, in that same interview I was watching, he was talking about like whether his abs were real in that film.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, they were real. He's like, and that's the reason why I'll never work out that hard again, because I worked hard to get those abs and nobody believed they were real.
Yeah. They all thought they were CGI.
Devastating.
Yeah, how do you get abs in real life?
What's that?
How do
Be
you get
born as
abs
Nick
in real
Cage.
life?
How do
Diet.
you get
Dude.
abs in real life?
Diet?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to
Okay.
smash them at the gym and then do a cut with no
Yeah.
What
carbohydrates.
do I
It's
not have
fucking
to eat?
miserable.
It's like no carbs and no sugar for like the rest of your life, right? That's
Yeah.
what it is.
For as long as you want abs.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can get abs without doing exercise.
Yeah.
It'll take you a very fucking long time, like really, really long time, but you can get abs without doing exercise.
Right,
Went
'cause it's
to-
all about getting rid of the fat in your
Yeah.
belly.
Yeah, man.
Every-
Mate, I'll show you.
Food.
I'll have to show you a picture, man. Like a couple of years ago, we went to Ibiza with a few of my mates, and we all got in shape. And that's all you did, just cut your calories down
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
up your steps. And like you look great, but you feel like shit.
Steps. Up
Yeah.
your steps. And
Facts.
then you,
Facts. What Max said.
and then you
I-
eat one donut,
Facts
and
and
your
you,
abs are
you've got a good body.
instantaneously gone.
Dude, to Nicolas Cage's point, man, it's like you work really hard and then you gotta like freaking keep them. And it's like I'd rather just
Hey, Pop.
performance overlook. You know what I mean? You get to a certain
Yeah.
age when you're older, you're like, I don't need 6 abs to be a beast in the gym. Like I don't.
No, quite the opposite. I think sort of carrying a bit of extra fat actually carries more energy, especially in the fighting ring.
Me and Nick had a conversation about that, about having that
That's
fat
actually
when you go out to
true.
the field.
Yeah.
If you're a hunter or whatever, you have like that. You know, you're not those
get
the
field
people
fat.
that get too cut. They get rhabdo.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's true. That's a
do you
fact.
remember,
That's a fucking fact.
What's the boxer's name? The British guy that fought
Tyson
Pacquiao.
Fury.
No.
No.
Nick
I
Cage?
know what you're talking about. He's a Olympic boxer too, right?
Yeah, he fought Manny Pacquiao, and Pacquiao
Yeah.
knocked him out. And
Yeah.
he's a great boxer.
Ricky Hatton you're talking about.
Ricky Hatton, that's the boy. So that the initial long game for Manny Pacquiao's fight with him was to go the distance, and then when he came out and Pacquiao's trainer saw how much fat Ricky had lost, they instantly changed their game plan and went, right, just go for the knockout straight away because he's not going to have any stamina, and that's how, and it worked because he was far too ripped. So it's just.
That's
You
amazing.
sort of fed this thing that if you look cut, then you're going to be like super fit, and it's not necessarily the case at all, really.
You learn
So
so much about like the human body when you fight, because everyone assumes that like people who are the most ripped and like the most noticeable six packs are the
Yeah.
strongest, and they're not. Especially with grappling, like weight is an advantage in
Yeah.
grappling as long as you can still move, right? As long as you're still flexible and fast, you want to be as heavy as possible. So that means having more muscle mass and not necessarily abs. Also, like the guys that look really mean, like I've found out it's completely the opposite of what you think. The guys that mean mug and look tough and puff their chest out, like you could usually take those guys. It's the kid with the big smile on his face that just wants to have fun, that has nothing to prove. That kid will fucking kick your ass every
So
time.
what we're saying
That's
is
why-
Nicolas Cage could have had 2 more Ghost Riders if he would have lost the abs because he would have been able to go the distance.
Honestly,
It's
I'd have
true.
Nick Cage back as Ghost Rider, even at his
Any
age
day.
now.
Any
Excuse me.
day.
You've all seen the picture of him as Superman, right?
Yeah, I'd have him back as Superman as well.
With the
And
Con Air,
Batman in the same movie.
Con Air.
Con Air hair.
You could play everyone, is it?
We're talking about the Con Air hair.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
would have made The Matrix 4 better is if they would have cast Neo with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, then I
Dude.
would have liked it despite any of the stuff that I said before.
Because they could have spun it
And
as
the
whatever.
Batman. And the Batman.
Yeah. Yes.
You could do a movie where Nicolas Cage plays everybody.
Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get to the peak of society where Nicolas Cage plays every major role in every film ever made.
Incidentally,
That's right.
Bro, I
I
love
don't-
that movie.
that was
Oh
cool.
my God.
Best
I
scene
don't-
in the film. That.
I don't know Ghost Rider lore. Is that like the first Ghost Rider?
Yeah, that's the first Ghost
Who was a
Rider, yeah.
cowboy or something?
COVID Kid, Bringing Out the Dead and Face Off are my favourite. Yeah, COVID, Bringing Out the Dead, man, underrated. Went right under the radar. I love that film.
Yeah.
You know what was
a night in the life of a American ambulance driver.
Fucking
right.
Face
Oh
Off.
yeah,
is
where he
weird
flips the
movie.
fucking
With John
ambulance?
Travolta?
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
They do
That
such
was
a
really
good job, like sounding like each other in that movie. It's pretty uncanny how well they do each other's like papers. Like
It's almost as if
insane.
they're paid professionally.
Like, in their defense, people suck at. Well, there's a lot of people that suck at freaking trying to impersonate.
I want to take his face
I want to take his face
off.
I'd like to take his face off.
It's like, remember that episode of South Park where Cartman tends to be a robot, and they like program him to write movies.
Oh, Osmo 9000 or whatever.
Osmo 9000. But if it's like two guys and they have to like face off and they really hate each other, but like they literally take their faces off, you guys are like, that's right. That'll be a good Nicolas Cage movie.
Mate, he is the one. Nicolas Cage's uncle was Francis Ford Coppola.
That's right. His
Who is?
Nicky Coppola.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've really framed Nicolas Cage's open, gaping
see-
mouth today on
you
the
see-
screen.
Nicky
Yeah, man.
Coppola used to get beat up a lot in school.
And
So what happened?
I used to get beat up on the bus every day. And then I was Nicky Coppola. That was my name. So one day I went to school and I dressed up, put my cowboy boots on, put my black leather jacket on, put my sunglasses on, and said I was Roy Richards. And if you mess around with my cousin Nicky Coppola, I'm going to kick your ass. So after that, they never screwed around with me anymore. So that was really my first acting experience.
Hell yeah.
What was his name? Roy Rogers? Roy
Rogers,
what?
yeah.
That's a superhero name, Roy Rogers.
How the fuck has nobody ever made a character named Roy Rogers as and cast Nick Cage? Right? Like, let's go, movie producers. You've seen this interview.
Dude, I've come to the conclusion that we need to give up on movie producers, and then just this crew right here, we are in charge of making all the movies that should be coming out. Is that right?
And,
You know, that sounds
And
that sounds like narcissistic hyperbole, but it's not. Like, I swear to God, like, nerds on YouTube would do, us included, but there's other guys, would do such a better job of writing and producing like geek culture content than the guys that actually do
I
it.
tend to think like I'm not sure about the writers, because every time we discuss a film, and it's usually me shitting on it, we always come down to a similar thing, and that's like, it's the production company like not letting a vision take the full shape that it could, you know.
Yeah.
So that might be the issue, but and I think like that to go back to like Nick Cage's sort of success in these like indie films, I think he circumnavigated that by sort of being in all these different low budget films that were low risk if they got fucked up. So there was no messing about from the production companies through a wide variety of different talent. You know, some of them that hit and some of them were a miss.
How did you learn the word circumnavigate if you don't read books? That's what I want to know.
I
It was in a
am
Nick
a
Cage film.
computer generated intelligence, Ben.
I learned in computer.
I feel like we have to keep going through this, and you don't believe me.
So,
Yeah, are you ever gonna? So have you just been using a bald guy filter the entire time, and this is what you?
No,
actually look like?
that was the original Max.
Okay, but this is
and now he's I don't know.
So you're an artificial intelligence
like-
programmed
so-
with the memories of the original Max, but also a dictionary. So you
so
got a
which
better vocabulary.
which one of you is Betamax?
Hey, that's going to be my next YouTube channel. In fact, or a show.
That's it. That actually
Alpha
really,
Max.
oh my god, you guys! It would. I'm not even kidding. It would be hilarious if we did a show called Betamax where we played like liberal,
Bro,
dark side of the Force versions of ourselves. We're
that'd
like,
be awesome.
like remember when I went on Commie Mark and I pretended to be communist and you didn't get the joke? Like I just bring back that costume and do that again, and that'll be my Betamax persona.
Betamax. So anyway, so one of the films that he's been in that happens to be my favourite, the low budget, is Mandy, which is basically on the surface is just a revenge film, but it contains a lot of sort of trippy aesthetics, and it also contains from a lot of aesthetics from and ideas from a previous Hellraiser reboot that the director wrote before making it.
No shit.
Yeah, they got shut down. So in part of the movie, Nicolas Cage's character ends up meeting these four sort of motorbike riders. They're basically the Cenobites. So, but I reckon you'd like it, Ben, because it's about religious cults and taking acid and heavy violence and heavy metal and Nick.
Yeah, it's
feel
pretty.
like it's
so
fuck yeah,
trippy as fuck. Like every shot looks like has been deliberately sort of tailored to look like a heavy metal album cover, and the film's broken up into chapters, and each chapter comes with its own illustration that sort of projects onto the screen, and that looks like like an old heavy metal album cover. Like it's really super stylized, and the acting in it's really good.
Man, I'm dating
so
again, so like I don't have that much free time. So I only watched like 2 movies this whole week. I meant to watch like 17.
I watched 4 movies last night, baby. Come on.
I know.
Well, I would recommend Mandy. It's definitely a Marmite film. You'll either love it or you hate it.
So there's this scene in Mandy where Nick Cage perfectly exemplifies the 5 stages of grief in like under a minute. Check this out. Which are so you can watch along at home. Bargaining with denial, right? Denial, which is like, I can't believe this. Anger, which is like, fuck you. Bargaining, which is like, maybe I can still fix this somehow. Depression, which is like, I'm fucked. And then acceptance, which is like, I'm not going to think about it anymore. So that's denial, right?
He really lost his Ghost Rider shape.
Then that's anger. There's your anger. There's your bargaining.
I didn't see any acceptance going on in that scene, but
maybe he skipped over the bargaining, but the acceptance is the last swig. Like,
yeah, facts. Yeah, that part. Some of that reminds me of Jim Carrey getting stuck with the little spears from
Throw me a spear.
Oh my god, that's great.
But that's
incidentally, Jim Carrey's quit acting, hasn't he? He's announced he is now quit after.
Oh really?
Oh,
he fucking blew Will Smith out the
He's
water.
like, I just wanted to ruin Sonic. Now that I've done that,
nah,
go back to painting. You know who stepped away from acting recently as well?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis due to health
Yeah,
issues.
because of his brain.
He's
What's the matter with Bruce?
What's he
got
got?
What's the matter with Bruce?
He's got a brain condition.
Yeah, he's got a brain condition.
It's pretty serious, man.
He's been.
I think it's degenerative.
Too badass for too
Oh,
long.
I tried to read up on it because he's actually diagnosed with something, but like, it's gonna impede his like ability to like be mobile and just be like. I mean, when you're an actor and your job is to memorize lines and shit, it's like.
But that's bullshit because if we can have a president who can't do that, then why can't Bruce Willis do it?
That was a good one, Nick.
Damn, Nick, that was quick.
10 points for Griffin.
Show over.
Thank you.
Show's
Thank
over.
you. Thank you. I just don't want Bruce Willis to go away.
Yeah,
Man, it doesn't matter. I'm sure they'll fucking redigitize his fucking corpse and stick him in another movie like they do every other fucking.
Someday that's going to be what movies are.
I see dead people.
It's fucking terrifying.
I know. Oh my
Digital
God.
necromancy.
Yeah,
Digital
kind of fucking tight though.
I mean, and this is the artificial intelligence of a dead bald guy
If
talking.
that isn't the binary calling the code.
You know what's crazy? You know how
Actually, I'm writing that down. Digital necromancy. That's fucking tight. I'm gonna use that if you don't mind.
No, you can take that, boy.
I was just thinking about this. It's funny how you guys said the future is going to be that, like when it comes to actors and everything. I was thinking about this when I was like going through the whole like Nick Cage meme, or like the little TikToks where they impose Nicolas Cage's face on everything. It's like it's almost kind of its own like thing, right? It's like it's not Nick Cage at this point. It's like this meme character that we know. And I was thinking like in the future they were going to create like an actor that started off as like it's not even an actual person or anything or somebody they brought back. It's just somebody that was born into the acting world as some like fake like binary like AI. And then he grows up, and it's like in every movie, and it's not an actual person; it's just an AI, and he's the star.
So it would be a Truman Show, but flipped. So everybody thinks that this dude's real, and then at the end you find out.
No, like everybody knows he's not real. Like everybody accepts this like fake actor that exists, and he's like stars in every movie, and every actor, big swinging dick actor, wants to be in a movie with this fake AI dude, but he just looks so real that it's. Like,
No, that shit's already happening, dude. That shit. No, you guys are laughing.
That is
shit's
happening.
Already,
Yeah, it is.
That's happening. That's happening with
Yeah.
e-girls, dude. There's a fucking there's a VR chick. There's an AI chick. It's like she's got blue hair and shit.
Yes.
And she's taking money from real life women who are sex workers, but she's not real.
Yeah, but like imagine that, but with acting. See, Nick knows where I'm going with this. Like that shit is like that shit is really real. Like everybody's gonna be like
an internet prostitute.
No, people are obsessed with like Will Smith and Nick Cage and all these movie stars that like go to the Oscars, whatever. They're gonna create an actor, and all these actors are gonna sit at the Academy Awards, and they're gonna be like for Best Actor, and it's like the person's not even there yet. They're all like that guy.
Yeah, but it's like other people are gonna be like, oh, look at the outfits they're wearing, but he's gonna show up as different machines. Like this year he's a Dyson vacuum. Next year he's like a fuck.
They'll have
two non-existent digital actors will get pissed off at each other during an Oscar ceremony, and one will digitally slap the other one.
Yeah.
And then
apologize.
The fucking power cable just coming around.
They'll have artificial intelligence as creating memes. You know, like they'll have an AI for every meme template.
Yeah.
And then you just show it the news and current events, and it'll make the memes automatically.
And people will just consume it.
I need a 30-second break.
I'm a vampire! 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 Put it in the right file, according to alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z! Huh? What am I?
He's a strange man.
I'm so enthralled. I'm so enthralled immediately anytime he just comes on. And
That movie.
EFG. I love that movie.
Vampire's Kiss.
That's a.
If I ever become a teacher, actually, Ben, you're a teacher. You should use that to teach English. That
I'm not
clip
really
right
a
there.
teacher anymore.
Have you ever seen Vampire's Kiss, Nick?
No, I haven't.
A great early addition to the Cage library.
Vampires.
It's about a man that convinces himself that he is becoming a vampire, even though he is not becoming a vampire.
How does he?
So he's a schizophrenic.
He's insane.
That's fucking tight. I feel like being.
It's very good.
I know there's disadvantages to being schizophrenic and all, but you got to admit that's probably a significantly more exciting lifestyle than being relatively sane. Because being sane sucks.
It doesn't end well for him in the end.
Yeah, but like, how exciting would it be to actually believe?
I'm a vampire.
I'm a vampire.
Yeah,
I'm
with
a
your heart of
vampire.
hearts, with your heart of hearts, believe that you're becoming a vampire. Because to you, it's real.
No,
it's as real as it could possibly be.
No, Nicholas. It could be more real if it were real.
No, but that's the thing is you don't have the ability to perceive that. So just from your perception of the universe, it's as real as it could possibly be in your mind.
From
Your
an
mind
epistemological
makes it
standpoint,
real.
I could not disagree with you more, sir. So that's the movie where the "you don't say" meme comes from, which is actually interesting because he's not even saying "you don't say" in the scene. He's just making that face.
Yeah, he's just doing the Nick Cage
while he's being a fucking vampire psychopath boss.
The lowest. Do you realize that? Every other secretary who's been here longer than you, Alva. Every one. And even if there was someone here who was here just one day longer than you, I still wouldn't ask that person to partake in such a miserable job as long as you were around. That's right, Alva. It's a horrible, horrible job. Sifting through old contract after old contract. I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to.
I can't believe I've never seen this.
We interpret that
classic.
You don't say. But the face was originally supposed to be, I'm a vampire and I own your job or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's like a Patrick Bateman sort of guy, isn't he?
If Patrick Bateman were a vampire.
Yeah. In fact,
it's like if Dracula were a corporate douchebag.
Yeah, if you watch, I would recommend watching Vampire's Kiss and American Psycho as a double bill, actually.
Oh yeah, I want to now. I'm like in the mood for Nick Cage now.
Yeah, well, American Psycho is obviously
never not in the mood for
Netflix
Nick
UK.
Cage.
I swear to God, Netflix UK removed a bunch of Nick Cage movies the week of this show, just to mess with me, I think. So all I had to watch was Ghost Rider, so that's all I watched.
Kev's come up with a nice little question, like in the if this idea of like digital actors comes true, would there be like the likelihood of you being able to chop and change and swap in and out all these different digital actors would be an option? Yes, that would be something that you could just do. Like the idea of a film starring one particular star, maybe that wouldn't be the thing anymore. Maybe the idea would just be like, like when you can play any sort of game and then change the characters with a mod.
Yeah, it's like skins.
Wow. Yeah.
That'd be weird, but they'd also
In
upload
their own film.
personality.
Well, we're gonna have to get to that point because no one, like, the further along we advance as a society, the more dissatisfied people become with any media that is presented to them. So the only solution to that is to give them the option to make the media look however they want, and then consume it that way. Like fucking Superman can be whatever height, build, gender, color, whatever, to you for your augmented version of the movie.
Yeah.
But the performance is still the same. It's just the skin is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Damn, that's definitely gonna happen with Batman first.
That would be strange.
Ben Affleck as Batman, and then they're gonna recast them. That's where we're gonna see it first.
I'd make
It's
I'd make a Batman where he wears eyeliner.
I'd make a Batman where he turns into a
Technically, he
flying
doesn't-
squirrel instead of using his cape.
technically he doesn't wear eyeliner. He wears eyeshadow.
I'm down with the eyeliner or the eyeshadow.
I am
think it
too,
looks
because
cool.
I'm a fucking weirdo.
Have you guys
I
seen
want
that?
goth Batman. I love goth Batman.
No, I'm not kidding either. I like goth Batman too. I like goth in real life, and I like it in Batman.
Is that why you're friends with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at this one.
Have you seen that TikTok of Batman slapping eyeshadow on before you when the bat signal goes up?
That would be really cool, right? Oh, but you're right. It's not eyeliner because eyeliner is this one.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I wear.
Eyeshadow is this one.
I feel like he'd just get some black camo paint and just rub it on his eyes.
That's more so what it looks like in the movie. Because like eyeshadow is not going to stay on very well. Camouflage will stay on super well. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because I've worn it, Ben.
How do you know?
Because I'm vengeance.
Oh, you're vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
Holy shit.
You
inspired a lot of
I'm
incels,
vengeance.
dude. It's
The
all your
trash
fault.
can is vengeance. Vengeance. Remember the vengeance.
Remember the vengeance.
Remember the trash can.
Trash can, what are you talking about?
Right, I'm editing that for the next show.
Vengeance. Remember the
Remember
vengeance.
the vengeance.
Remember the vengeance.
Have there been any movies?
Vengeance.
Okay.
It's just a vengeance. The trash can with the vengeance painted on the side.
Yeah, okay. That's next week. That's happening.
I like
Oh,
that.
fuck.
that
I
a
like
lot.
how we've managed to plug that clip into every show since we've had it.
Good memory.
I'm gonna
So
find a way.
So, hey, do you want to go for the list of people that have been in the most films? Because there is no definite, but there's a list of a few.
Okay, how many of them are not Nick Cage?
I'm really glad
Well,
we
Nick
have
Cage is right up there because most of them are in the 200s.
this artificial intelligence.
so
on the
he
show.
is up there.
He's the only one that can access,
Yeah.
databases of data.
Yes,
Danny
I would love to
Trejo,
know.
258 movies.
Who?
Oh,
Danny
Danny
Trejo.
Trejo, yeah.
Who's Danny Trejo?
Machete.
Danny Trejo, Machete.
Machete guy.
Oh yeah,
Machete.
yeah. He always plays the same.
Mexico.
That
Desperado.
motherfucker always plays the same guy though.
Wait, is he in Con Air? No, he's in fucking that other jail movie.
I think he's in Con Air, yeah? I think you're
The
right.
Longest Yard.
Doesn't he play
Yeah,
one of the
Nicolas Cage
just
doesn't
like
play
a really small part of just one of the guys
That's
in
usually
the play?
Yeah,
that's
he's in
usually
Spy
his
Kids.
role.
Christopher Lee's been in 208 E.
280?
Yeah.
God, films.
Gertrude Astor, 276.
Did anybody like National Treasure?
Whoa, Eric Roberts was in 427 movies.
Who?
Eric Roberts, he's in he plays Falcone in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Holy
Hey,
shit.
did anybody like the National Treasure films?
Yes.
You know, I've
I
never
like
seen them.
They're really good.
And Nick Cage as Indiana Jones.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for
Nick
that.
Cage is Indiana Jones.
He's really good at accents in that movie.
Nick Cage is Darth Vader.
Been drinking, have we? Just a nip. Just pop down to the pub for a pint. Bit of all right. Going to arrest the man for that. Going to detain a blighter for enjoying his whiskey.
It's all right, that's enough.
Beggars and mash. Sir? Balls and squeak. Smoked eel pie. Sir? Haggis! That's it. Dismount the banister.
Haggis.
Haggis is in
Haggis
English.
is Scottish.
I know.
That's-
One thing
Haggis!
you know about Americans is that we think you sound like that, and we don't know the difference between Scottish and English and Irish. So
That's not true.
there you go. Well, I'm not talking about us.
I know, sorry, you didn't even make
I'm
the
not
well.
talking
We
about
are
present-
refined and
present
cultured,
company
man.
excluded, obviously. But I
Of
mean,
course, of
a
course.
lot of American people are completely ignorant about.
Oh, mate.
Everything.
Half of
Most
fucking
American
English
people
people
can't-
don't know the difference between Scottish and Irish. I won't worry about it.
I think the only like accent from like when it comes to British accents is like people from Liverpool, the Scousers.
Yeah.
I can definitely pick that out from everybody else.
Scousers don't get knocked out.
Yeah, they have that really like kind of rough, just around the edge.
So we're all
It sounds like
Right,
they
I
got
need
rocks in their
subtitles.
fucking mouth, dude.
Actually,
They do,
subtitles.
though.
we're all on the Patty the Batty bandwagon, right?
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Paddy's all right. You fucking muppet. You fucking wham.
Yeah.
Dude, the moment I became a fan of his is when they were like, Patty, who do you want to fight? He was like,
Zuckerberg.
fucking Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. You're a bully. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
He keeps getting banned from social media, doesn't he?
Yeah, I love it.
That's my kind of guy,
Give
though.
me back me at Instagram. He's trying to get his Instagram back. They keep taking it from him. They keep taking it from him. He keeps getting it back.
I love that.
You're a fucking bully.
Mr. Hand Sanitizer? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Hand sanitizer boy.
This not to refer to him by his name, was refer to him as Mr. Hand Sanitizer.
He fucking pinged it off his head, didn't he?
Dudes, I gotta shoot now. So
no worries,
catch you next week.
Bye bye.
I love you, Oreo. You're very handsome.
Am I fucking retarded? I know what this is. Don't try to stop me out because of this lazy little man you need around. Well, vive la fucking France, man! Someone's trying to kill me, man! The fucking hangers!
It never just goes away.
The goddamn contract is somewhere in those goddamn fucking files! Fuck! Fucking fuckers! Fuck! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck Mexico!
Horseshit.
Hi, fucking yeah!
You fucks, I hate you. I hate you both. I should fucking both. Just right now, I should fucking kill you fucking both! Have you ever...
Could you imagine being on set, just like being the boom guy, just like...
He's so good.
Just holding it together, like not just. I mean, props to Nick Cage, but to everybody who could keep quiet during those scenes, impeccable self-control, like impeccable. Like just, could you imagine being the fucking like the craft services guy? Just, I don't know how to deal
He's
with this
entertaining,
right
isn't he?
I would die.
I get the same feeling as I get with Jack Nicholson, man. Like I don't care what he's in. I'm just mesmerized by his performance. I feel that like, I feel the same way about Nick Cage. Like he's exciting to watch.
He is. He really
really
is. Like, nobody else could do that. Like, you know why he's wearing sunglasses in that scene in the inside in the car? It's because he's a vampire, so he has to protect himself from the sun. I don't know. I mean, you believe it. You believe it.
I believe it. He might actually be a real vampire.
So the other movie I watched this week, besides Raising Arizona for the 17th time, was Bad Lieutenant. It's got a longer.
I love that.
It's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, I love that film.
I like.
Not seen it.
His soul is still dancing.
Yeah.
He's...
How'd that go?
It's so he's off his tits throughout the entire movie on drugs, and there's a part where he offs this guy, or someone else offs this guy in front of them. They shoot him, and he's dead on the floor. And then Nick Cage's character says, "Oh no, shoot him again."
Shoot him again. What for? His soul's still dancing. Shoot him again.
His soul is still dancing.
Bro,
Such
it's
a good film.
It's every bit as like enthralling as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But the story is better. It just, you know?
Yeah.
There's
I really like that film.
There's character development, there's arc resolution. There's like random scenes in that movie with like weird shit. They exploit the premise to the fullest, which is a corrupt police officer, a corrupt police lieutenant, right? And like they have all these scenes of him doing this weird shit, like fucking, girls in order to get them so that they don't get in trouble for drug possession. Like he just busts people with no what do you call it, probable cause.
Yeah.
And like does whatever. But like every scene in that movie is revisited. Like there's no scene in that movie that's just because it's funny or entertaining. Every scene in that movie like contributes to the
and it's a nice. It's
progression.
been a while since I've seen it, but it's a nice look at sort of how someone's life can sort of. It's the slippery slope thing, is it? How his life sort of spirals out of control by. Yeah, because he at the beginning.
How does that movie end?
He somewhat redeems himself, right? And he gets off the pain meds.
It's a very interesting thing to discuss, right? Because he wins. Spoiler alert. He wins.
He does. Yeah.
And
he's the good guy.
I love that he wins, because I've seen so many movies like Wolf of Wall Street or like whatever, where the protagonist kind of goes off the rails, does whatever he wants, does things that, you know, our society and our sensibilities would say are immoral or whatever, and ends up paying the price and learning the lesson. And that is such a tired cliche for me. Yeah, I'm so sick of seeing the protagonist lose everything and regret.
Learn a lesson, stupid idiot.
Fuck that shit. Like, you know, because real life doesn't work that way necessarily.
That's true. I get away with shit all the time.
There's no divine karma. You know what I mean? The winners are the ones who understand the game. So like he wins that movie because he's playing everyone. He's playing every facet of his life like a board game, and he's trying to win. His father, his girlfriend, his, you know, the drug dealers, the other police officers, the football players, the bookies, everyone, he's playing like it's a competition and he's trying to win. And that's
kind of like a Fistful of Dollars. That's a similar premise where he plays the two. He's kind of an asshole and he plays the two gangster mobs off against each other and comes out the winner, even though, you know, he's technically not that good a guy.
Well, basically, if you read Nietzsche Beyond Good and Evil, and then you watch the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you're gonna understand a lot more of why it's called that and what's going on.
I love that film. Great movie.
Great film.
Dude, speaking of, my bad.
No, go, Dal.
No, because it was gonna get off topic from this movie. It was about like because Raising Arizona was like the first Nicolas Cage movie I've seen that I ever saw, and like I was wondering why that's Ben's favorite movie. Is it just because of the like the dynamic between him and I can't remember his girl's name in that movie when they're trying to take the kid.
Her name is Ed.
Yeah. What do you call it? Why is that movie like? Why is that your favorite Nick Cage movie? I'm really interested because I really love that movie. It's one of those movies I've watched like I've watched that more than I've watched Gone in 60 Seconds. Gone in 60 Seconds is one of my favorite movies like of all time. But
I love that movie so much because I love children. I love children, and I like that movie more and more as I get older because it's becoming more and more clear to me that I'm never gonna have the fucking white picket fence wife and a kid. Like, and it's because I don't want it. You know what I mean?
Amen, brother.
Because obviously,
Amen,
if I really wanted it, I would get it. There's I have a lot of ex-girlfriends that wanted to marry me, and I always think that's what I want too until I get really close, and then I realize like, no, just kidding, I don't want that. But like, I don't know. I really identify with the idealization of a family life, despite the reality that it's not going to happen. There's something really melancholy about that for me that really rings true, if that makes sense.
So yeah, like in the film, like how they both wanted like not both, mostly her wanted a kid like really bad, and they felt like if they had a kid, it would like complete like a family.
It would fix everything, right?
They would fix everything, and they'd have this little happy family. They're just missing a kid. That's all they're missing.
Nah, man. You got to make sure everything's fucking solid before they come along, mate.
Take it from me, kid.
Any fucking hair out of place, it's all gonna collapse.
But like ever since I was a little kid and I saw that movie for the first time, that was one of the things. That movie was actually really seminal in development of my psyche, because I've always had the supposition that having a child and being a father is like the most important thing that anyone can do, and that everyone should try to do that. And I still feel that way, even though I've decided I don't want to. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
no, you are.
I am.
No, I didn't want
No,
kids.
you're in your early 30s, aren't you?
What's that?
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34. I didn't want it at 34 either.
Really?
Not
Yeah,
absolutely not.
But you were married.
Yeah, I was married. Yeah.
See,
but it depends how you. It depends on how you know what your fears are about getting married, I suppose.
Yeah.
I didn't have any because ultimately, getting a house ties you to somebody a lot harsher than getting married. Getting married is right at the bottom of the list, you know. Right at the bottom of the list as far as devoting yourself to someone in the eyes of real life.
No, I understand.
Do you know what I mean? You can walk out the fucking door anytime you want.
Right. Especially with the way the law is nowadays.
Yeah, not that I would, because everything I say, I try and take myself as serious.
Yeah, not that I've thought about that a bunch of times.
Everybody thinks about that. I'm sure.
No, well, I did it.
Everyone thinks about
that as well.
I've been married.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
But the last scene of that movie is my favorite part of the whole movie, because it's just the dream.
Well, what happens? Because I've never seen it.
So, okay, shit. So there's this couple that has quintuplets by fucking around with fertility drugs, and so Nicolas Cage and his wife, they can't have kids, so they steal one of those quintuplets to raise
they won't notice.
Because they're like they still have 4 kids, they're fine, and they decide to raise this kid as their own, and hilarity ensues, as they would say. But anyways,
it's
obviously
just a very warm and endearing story about kidnap.
Yeah, child kidnapping,
child endangerment, and kidnapping.
Yeah.
Well, in the end, they give it back, obviously, and then it's ambiguous whether they'll stay together, because it's hinted at that she wants to leave him, and so you kind of make up your own mind if they stay together, if they don't, if they eventually have kids, if they don't. But he just has this dream, you know, and he just has this dream of being an old man and having kids and grandkids and Thanksgiving dinner and all this shit. And I don't know, there's something powerful.
I'm just kidding, buddy. You know, I'm 100% fucking with you, bud.
There's something really powerful about that. And I get along really, really well with my parents. Like, my parents are the greatest human beings alive that I've ever met. But I don't really care about anybody else in my family, and that includes siblings. I don't know, there's something wrong with me. I feel
if you're watching, fuck you specifically.
Fuck you. Anybody related to me that's watching this, except for my parents. I really like my parents. Everybody else, fuck no.
No, there's something wrong with you. It's just
there's something weird about that movie.
Out, man.
There's something weird about that movie, and there's something weird about the way I feel about my own family and about my expectations for my future, where it really rings true to me. It's this, the piano chords are exactly the ones in my heart, you know, because I want it, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen, is basically in a nutshell.
You want to have some babies with me, Ben?
Do you think that it's crazy because Nicolas Cage has a movie like that kind of, if you think about Raising Arizona, it's one of those films, it's the first Nicolas Cage film I ever saw. So after that, it was I was trying to gauge Nicolas Cage as an actor according to his his role in that movie, which is very different from a lot of his other roles. For example, the ones that we've been the Vampire's Kiss and Con Air and Ghost Rider. There's any movie that you can think of that he's done out of the thousands, even his B movies. But I think it's interesting that he's got a movie for everybody. In my opinion, that's what makes Nicolas Cage, because he does the National Treasure. I always forget those movies. I'll watch them. I'm these are actually really good. Kind of just like, you know, fun kind of like solve mystery, like kind of Indiana Jones-ish kind of like movie, it's not terrible. It's actually very entertaining through and through. And it's like he's got a movie that's entertaining and enough for everybody to like kind of inspire them or like
That's
move
it.
them
That's
away.
I suppose that's what I was getting at, like at the beginning. Is like you can't really pin him down, can you? As what sort of actor he is. Not like you can with like Arnie, you know.
Yeah,
I know he's tried to diversify his career, but I mean, an Arnie film's an Arnie film, isn't it?
Yeah, and then like to your point, like out of the 4 movies, like 4 action movies that sucked, he's got one that actually made it, and then out of the 4 like lighthearted films he had that sucked, he was able to make one that like actually like would emerge from those 4 and be a classic, and you're just like, damn, like he really sucks. But you know, his one action movie, Gone in 60 Seconds, like I think he's done like 3 other car films. Gone in 60 Seconds is probably his best one.
There's one called Drive Angry.
Yeah, which is basically Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Ghost Rider. Yeah,
but it's terrible. But Gone in 60 Seconds was a hit, and it still It still stands the test of time. So I mean, he's got success in that much. Maybe he's just like, I want to do a paper, and I keep saying paper because I'm thinking Spanish and papel, but like he wants to do a role. Ben knows why. When I say paper, he's like,
Bro, you just made the part of my brain tingle where I'm at work. Like I almost just put on a fake smile and explained to you the difference and started drawing on the whiteboard. Like, okay, Phil, that's great. Thanks so much for sharing. So one thing I wanted to tell you, sometimes when we translate.
Yeah.
I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever cash you got.
Whatever cash you got.
The freaking diapers, dude. It's funny because like my wife like finally watched it, and I told her that I was gonna just steal the diapers. She didn't know what I was talking about, so I had to like tell her like the movie, and she was like shocked that he was in a movie like that. She knows him for like National Treasure. That's what she knows him for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And because you know, those were the more family kind of like films, or like she's got like 5 other kids that she was raised with, so they always got to find that middle ground.
So I feel like he's come full circle then, because I think his latest films I think they're closer to his earlier ones than
they are.
Like, have you seen Pig?
Yes. Yeah.
What a bizarre little art film about a chef looking for his pig, and it's not. When I heard that, I thought, oh, brilliant. It's going to be Nick Cage with a gun going around shooting people looking for his pig. But it's not that at all. It's actually quite, it's actually quite sad. Like, it's just about a hermit's view of the world and how he becomes super attached to this little animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like John Wick, but like
that actually sounds really endearing.
It is endearing. It's a weird film. I'd recommend that. That, Mandy, and Color Out of Space. 3 Nick Cage films for you from the last couple of years.
I thought Pig was going to be really funny. Like it was going to
be. I suppose maybe on a repeat watch it could be funny because it's so weird. And it wasn't what I was expecting either. I was like, oh, this is quite sad. Like.
I've had it with your drama, Lavinia. So do me a favor and get the fuck out of my sight, okay? No, actually, I'll save you the trouble and get the fuck out of yours.
It's interesting. Do you know what's going on there, Ben?
Well, no.
So
I wanted to read Color Out of Space. The original.
Get the fuck out of yours!
It's not even that long. I wanted to read that and then watch the movie, but I just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, they're somewhat different. I think that they went through some changes at the script process, but the color has different effects on different people, and it's established at the beginning of the film that Nick's character had an extremely strained relationship with his father, who was super aggressive. And one of his big fears was becoming his father to his own kids. And the colour starts to turn him into
his father.
His father, and that's him.
Hell yeah.
Becoming his father. Like, get the fuck out of yours. But obviously, you know, he's funny as fuck, even in Even in like horrific scenes, he's hilarious.
That's
There's a part where he
amazing.
shoots his wife, and the line afterwards had me like dying with laughter.
What does he say?
It's not what he says, it's how he says it. He shoots her and he goes, "This is not my family." And then walks out the room.
Wow, that's trippy, dude.
Dude, I laugh so hard.
You fucking cocksucker! You cocksucker! You cocksucker! Ah, 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 ah,
The car is not happening.
What the fuck does that mean? The car is not happening?
Oh, mate, it's such a bizarre film.
Not happening. I can't find my pipe. I don't know.
Such a harrowing film. Like the noise you can hear in the background there, where he's saying the car is not happening. His wife and his youngest son have been fused together by the colour, and they don't know what to do, so they just plonk them on the sofa, and it's sitting there on the sofa alive, like suffering. And he's trying to get out. He wants to leave and get in his car, but like,
Sorry,
it's all right.
So I wonder about that movie. Like, it seems like
it's very The Thing. It's got The Thing elements to it.
Well, it seems like the original story is thematically very different, right? Because the original story is just like, what do you call it? Cosmicism, right? That fear of aliens or whatever bullshit. And then, like, it seems like the movie takes it in a different direction.
Yeah,
it's like drugs or something, right? Like,
well, it's still the meteor.
It's a bad trip or something.
Yeah, it's still the meteor, and I think in the book the color does send the residents of the town mad, but the director, I forget his name now. He's a British guy. Richard Stanley actually brought that up, the cosmicism thing, and said he really wanted to stick closer to the book with the idea of the cosmicism. But the problem with that was that by the time he got round to the time he was given the chance to make the color out of space, that cosmicism idea of the meteor coming down and being found by the tramp with something alien inside of it had been done so many times that he felt that if he had made it like close to the book, the film itself would have been redundant. So,
and he would have been right.
Yeah. So he played with it as much as he could and tried to keep closer to the book. I think the idea was to do a trilogy of Lovecraftian movies. I don't know if he's still going to do it. Incidentally, there's a documentary out called Lost Soul about the making of The Island of Dr. Moreau by that director and how it went wrong, and it's fascinating, and I would recommend you all watch it because it's fucking hilarious. Like, the shit that went down on that film is unbelievable.
Definitely check it out.
What's that one?
It's called Lost Soul, and it's about the filming of The Island of Dr. Moreau, with Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
and it's the original director who eventually got replaced, and then he had a nervous breakdown and went to live in the jungle next to the set for a while, and then
that's Lovecraftian.
Yeah, and then he dresses up as one of the extras and infiltrates back into the cast. And there's all sorts of shit going on. Like, Val Kilmer's a massive wanker, and so are like some of the other cast, and they sort of go in, like, everybody on the set hates each other.
Is that why he didn't get cast for Batman and Robin?
Quite possibly.
Because it was weird for them to have a Batman switch, but not a Robin switch when it went from Batman Forever.
Yeah,
to Batman
that was weird.
Yeah.
We're back on Batman. We're back on Batman.
We're never not on Batman.
We're back on Batman.
It always comes back to Batman.
Yeah.
Batman played by Nick Cage. Robin also played by Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And same for Catwoman and
I
Alfred.
have to become the Knight, Alfred. Do you understand that? Criminals are a cowardly, superstitious bunch, Alfred. No, I don't want your fucking dinner. Smash.
He's running through the
Yeah, Batman.
Fuck!
He's just like got his hunch. He's like slightly scoliosis or whatever he has in the bat suit, talking to Commissioner Gordon. All right, now shut the fuck up. Get to the part about where the Joker is right now. All right. We don't have time.
Do you think if Nick Cage was Batman, it wouldn't be the Batcave, it'd be the Batcage?
The Batcage.
Oh, brilliant. The Batcage.
Nick has been on fire with the puns today.
I know.
Nice shot.
Thanks.
Thanks. Del, I know you gotta go soon. So tell us about whatever movies you want to talk about before you leave.
Oh no, I don't have to go now. Range time got pushed, so I'm good.
Everybody, oh, okay, that's amazing. I prayed to Nicolas Cage that Arya and Del could stay longer, and
There you go. And then Arya got brought back.
I had to take a minute to go and promote Taylorless on another stream, but I'm back. So
that was it.
Why don't you promote Tailless right here, bitch?
You can. It's allowed.
I want to see Nick. Nick, you picked Con Air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is Con Air like your favorite movie? Just like what?
What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save the fucking day.
Because it's just one of the earliest Nick Cage films that I was exposed to. But when I saw it when I was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8, whatever fucking year that came out. I think 95.
Yeah.
So I saw it like around that time, and I was a young kid. I was into movies then, but like I took it really seriously as like a really serious action film. I was like, Nick Cage is badass. Like I was like, Nick Cage is fucking badass. And I don't know, I just like visually the movie always stuck with me. I just think like, although it's a really shitty movie, like it still like maintains a really good aesthetic.
Yeah.
And fucking who's that? The actor who plays the child molester. He just
he's in Grown Ups. He's always the like.
Dude, he's always the same creepy guy.
Yeah.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
His name's like Etchy or Uchi in the end or something like that.
Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Yeah. Fucking, I'd like his role in that movie just was like, it's just so perfectly gross and creepy.
At the end where
he's having tea with a little girl. Like,
yeah. Doesn't he drive from one state to another wearing someone else's skin?
Yeah.
That's the story about him.
But I really liked the scene in fucking Con Air where the way Nick Cage alerts the police that the fucking plane has been hijacked is by attaching a note to a dead body and just dropping it into the city center. And it just hits somebody's car. It's like that's fucking.
The protagonist of Con Air reminds me a lot of, honestly, of John McClane.
Who
some similarities there.
Which one? Nicolas Cage's character or Cusack?
No, Nicolas Cage's character in Con Air reminds me a lot of Die Hard.
Really, a bit of claim.
If fucking John McClane was from the South,
right? If he was a God-fearing family, family man,
I'm sure there's isn't there a part where he gets shot and he just walks straight through the bullets, like it goes through his arm, and he just carries on walking up to the guy and beats the shit out of him.
This is Con Air.
Hey, where you going? I'm gonna show you God does exist.
And then the electric guitar, right?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna show you God. It's like, goddamn.
I wonder, Nick, how you feel about that character and about his faith. Like, do you see him as like hokey and like silly because he's a God-fearing man? And is that how you see Del and I? Or do you secretly admire us?
Neither. I don't give a shit about your faith.
Then option C.
Respectfully,
how do you feel?
about the character in the film. Well, when I was a kid, like he was like the beginning of the film, like he's an Army Ranger, right? I thought that was just the coolest thing ever because my dad's in the Army.
Yeah.
So fucking, I was like, damn, he's an Army Ranger. That's fucking. They're like, we're sentencing you to prison because your hands are lethal weapons. I was like, damn, he's so badass that just getting in a fight, he's the one going to prison, even though these people tried to murder him. It's like,
thanks, dude.
the whole premise of the film is fucking it's shambles because like if it was realistic, it would have just been like, oh yeah, you got mugged and these guys tried to and then they died. Well, cool, open and shut case, Johnson, and then he would have gone back to his life.
Yeah, but he had to be on that airplane to save those people's lives.
Yeah, he's got to go to jail for doing something brutal and understandingly.
And
so.
he's got to grow that fucking phenomenal head of hair.
Yeah.
Just you got the clip of him walking off the bus.
Well, we showed that for like 10 minutes before the stream, so I think we're good.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that, so
on a
for
loop.
me, I want to see it one more time.
But apparently there was no sound. I got to do a better job.
That's okay. But yeah, I don't know. That's just Con Air is like my earliest Nick Cage film.
It's a great movie.
It's a great film, yeah.
Sometimes when I watch that movie, I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. And other times when I watch it, I'm like, he's just being silly. Like, I believe in God and I'm from the South and I'm perfect. I don't know.
It's product of its time.
I will tell you that having spent 15 years in the United States military, that there are 100% people who act like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that inaccurate of a portrayal of somebody from the South who's in the infantry, who's got like the cross rifle tattoo, and they're like,
no joke,
fucking
dude.
only God can judge me. I'm just like,
so real.
It's so real. It's
That's
so
so
real.
That's so cool. I don't think there's anyone.
Never seen these films either. They just,
I don't think there's
that's
anyone
real.
closer to God on this planet than those United States Southern soldiers.
I thought you were going to say Nick Cage.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nick Cage.
No one's closer to God than Nick Cage.
I agree. I agree. Well, it's been an hour and 25 minutes. Do we have anything else to discuss?
Excuse me, I have to use the little boy's wee-wee room.
That was creepy.
I've got fucking tons of drops, but
Drop them. Just drop them all. I want to see them.
drop them all.
Yeah.
Drop them.
That son of a bitch. Hold on, Nathan. We're gonna go pick up Daddy.
Hang on, Nathan.
I want no context. I want all drops.
Hang on, Nathan.
Here. I never disrobe before a gunfight.
Why would you disrobe before a gunfight?
Why
There's
wouldn't
something
you?
weird about having sex when your clothes still on. I've only ever done it with prostitutes.
Pretty sure. I told you I wanted sugar.
That's how I interact with service industry people.
Yeah, at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You
Male,
guys-
female, doesn't matter. That's how
You guys-
exactly.
You guys want to see me on a typical Monday morning writing my fucking book? This is what it feels like to be a writer.
To begin. How to start. I'm hungry. I should get coffee. Coffee would help me think. But I should write something first, then reward myself with coffee. Coffee and a muffin. Okay, so I need to establish the themes. Maybe banana nut. That's a good muffin.
That's the same for artists.
Yeah, that's the
honestly.
same.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times I've sat down at this very desk and been like, I can't draw anything until I get something to eat. And then I go get something to eat. And then I don't draw anything at all that entire day.
That's amazing. Let's do a couple more and then we'll end the show.
All right.
I gotta pick just my favorites ones. I like this one a lot.
Snakeskin jacket! Thanks, baby! Did I ever tell you that this here jacket represents a symbol of my individuality and my belief in personal freedom?
Did I ever tell you that just by chance? Nick Cage is the man, greatest actor of all time.
Honestly, I think when he dies, he will be nominated greatest actor of all time.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
The Adventures of Talos in Outer Space is live on Indiegogo. You get a little action figure of the cat. It's the coolest fucking anthropomorphic animal space cadet in all of Comicsgate. The Immortal Asadi is on demand. That book is done. You buy it, they'll ship it right to you. Rokon is almost done. Get it while we're still stupid enough to sell it for less than it's worth. And we'll see you guys next week.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.